We're going to try something new, an experiment today on Woodworking with Wes. We had a viewer who had viewed one of our cerusing videos introduce us to a product that we've never used before, Rubio's Monocoat. So we bought a little sample, and today we're going to try that out on our little tabletop. Now this is the first time I've ever done this, so bear with me as I work my way through to doing this, and we'll see how we end up. We're excited. We've sanded our tabletop, put a nice little chamfer edge around the top. We took a wire brush and just lightly brushed the grain to highlight some of the grain pattern, and we've blown it off so it's nice and clean and ready for our Monocoat. Precolor is the first step you do. So we're using a black Precolor. We were told to make sure that it was mixed well, so we're going to mix it up here really good. We're going to just apply it with a brush like it tells us to. We'll start with the edge, work our way up. Big drop on my bench. Ooh. Anyway, we're going to go around the edge. It says on the instructions that we read to put your Precolor on very liberally and then let it set for a few minutes before you wipe it off. And then you wipe it off so that it's all of the residue or all of the additional material that's not taken up by the grain is all wiped off, so it's pretty clean and dry when you get done. So that's what we're doing here first. It also said on the instructions that we read to either take a very light Scotch-Brite, they said a white Scotch-Brite, or a sponge, and we have a sanding sponge, that's what we're going to use, and rub it into the grain. And so as soon as we get this all on here, we're going to go back with our sponge and rub it into the grain to make sure that the black gets all the way into the grain pores and makes a great first coat. So there's our paint. Here's our little sanding sponge. Now we're going to let that sit for just a few minutes and then we'll wipe it off. It's been about 10 minutes. I failed to mention you should wear gloves. I didn't, so I got some of the black on my fingers. Hard to get off. Be sure to wear gloves. But anyway, been about 10 minutes. So we're going to come back with some soft cotton cloth and we're going to wipe this down really good. And you want to wipe it down till it's dry. And I like to use a cloth to hang on with and a cloth to wipe with so that I don't get my fingerprints over everything. I can already tell that this is really going to highlight the grain really well. I can see that oak grain, and oak is the wood that we used. I can see that oak grain standing up really good through our Precolor. Yeah. Okay. Now, according to our instructions, we need to wait 2 hours. So, see you in 2 hours. We've allowed our tabletop to dry for 2 hours now. We're going to be putting on the ceruse coat, which is a white coat, and we're going to add an accelerator, which allows it to dry fast. They say that the monocoat, if you don't have an accelerator, don't use the accelerator, that it takes about 3 weeks to cure, and you're supposed to leave it that long. If you use the accelerator, then that cuts that time down to a week. It dries faster than that, but it's not cured for the week. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix 2 parts to 1, and we're going to spread it on here with a white Scotch-Brite pad, and then clean it all off and wipe, and we'll see how it goes. So first thing, mix 2 parts to 1 with our color. Got to have my glasses, can't see without them. Look at that. What do you know? Now, they say only mix what you need. It's fairly expensive, so you don't need to mix a lot. We're going to use our little 1 ounce indicator on our bucket here. Right there. Here's our accelerator. They say to stir but not shake. Mix it up really good. Phew, stinks. Okay. Okay, work it good into the grain. And then Oh, that looks pretty cool. I have plenty of rags on hand so that when one gets saturated, you can continue to have a clean cloth with you. Oh. I'm kind of loving this. This is a cool look. One final cloth here to buff it a little bit. Okay, Rubio Monocoat Ceruse Finish. And so there you have it, Rubio Monocoat Finish. Use your color first. This is your glaze with your accelerant. Like I say, we bought just a little sample package, and here's our finished product. So nice. And that is the end of it. You don't have to put a top coat over this or anything. This is the finished product, and the way it is, when it dries, this will be a complete finish. I'm pretty impressed. First time using it. I like it. We'll see you next time. Woodworking with Wes.